Hey guys, welcome back. So today I wanted to bring you guys one of my patented quick mini reviews on a product. Not really, but it sounded kind of cool, right? Anyways, so today we're just going to be doing a really quick review. I'm not going to be doing like a wear test or a demo of application or anything like that. We're going to be talking about the new Colourpop No Filter Foundation. So I've been trying this out for about a week or so and I definitely have some thoughts. So I figured I would jump on here, do a quick little mini review for you guys, and put my thoughts out there. So if you're interested in what I think of the new Colourpop foundation, then just keep watching. Okay, so if you're not familiar, Colourpop launched this foundation plus a pressed powder and a loose powder to expand on their no filter concealer line. So they have the concealer, the foundation, and now 2 powders. So I was really excited for this. I picked it up the day it launched. I was on the website the minute it launched. Like I was very excited about this product. One, it comes in 40 different shades, which is amazing. I have mine in the shade Fair 15, which is not the lightest shade. It's actually 2 shades up from the lightest shade, which is just, it's so nice to not be the lightest shade, because it's like companies need to realize that there are actually really pale people, and like I'm pale, but I'm not that pale. So for me to not be the lightest shade in a foundation range it's fantastic. So I love that. I was super excited. So I picked it up. I didn't pick up the powders because I just felt like I really didn't need those in my collection. And I'm very picky about powders to begin with. So I just felt like it would be kind of a waste of money for me. I wanted to pick up the concealer, but that day their site was being all glitchy and you had to get the concealer from like a different, you know, like get to it from a very specific way, and I didn't realize that until I already ordered it. So anyways, I picked up the foundation. So this is what it looks like. It comes in a really nice glass bottle. It's got these cute little white stars all over it. I think it looks really nice. My only problem is it doesn't come with a cap, which I think is just really odd. Like it doesn't really matter. I'm not going to travel with it, but it looks so unfinished to me, and it really bothers that like type A part of my brain. I don't like it so much. The pump is lockable, which I really like. I mentioned how much I like this feature in my Covergirl Matte Made Foundation review. I think it's really genius. I have mascara on my upper lid. Nice, Alyssa. Okay, anyways, so I picked this up. I've been trying it for about a week or so, and honestly, I don't love it. I feel like I was really cocky after the Covergirl foundation, because that one was supposed to be like a really like matte oil controlling foundation, and it looks amazing on my skin. It's actually what I'm wearing right now, because I couldn't bring myself to put this on my face again, honestly. So I just lost my train of thought so quickly. So I feel like I was really overconfident with the way my skin is after that foundation. So I assumed that this would be good enough. What? I assumed that this would work. I was really excited to try it. I thought it would work on me, but it really doesn't. So this bottle retails for $12, and you get 0.85 fluid ounce. So not a full ounce, which sucks, but it is only $12, so I guess you kind of get a little bit better of a deal there. So their claims for this foundation is basically that it's a full coverage formula with a natural matte finish. It says it has soft blurring pigment technology that gives an instant filter. It's oil free and lightweight, never cakey. Yeah, so basically it sounds like the perfect foundation, right? Not so much for dry skin. Honestly, it just looks so dry on my skin. I was really surprised. So the first day I used this, I used it just with my regular Pixie Rose Flash Balm, because that's my like go-to primer. It just gives a really nice moisturized base to any foundation. So I figured I'd go in with that, put this over it, and it would look great, right? No, it looked awful. It just clung to everything. It looked super cakey and dry, and just, I haven't seen my skin look that bad in a really long time, honestly. And then I noticed that on my forehead, it looked speckled, and it was like random little pinpoint dots oxidized, but the rest of it didn't. Now, I will say this foundation does dry down darker, maybe like half a shade, on me at least. It dries down about half a shade darker, so just take that in consideration when buying your foundation shade. If you already buy one that's too dark, you might be screwed, because it definitely does darken just a hair. But it just seemed like random little pinpoint dots darkened while the rest of it didn't, or maybe it just darkened more. I don't know how to explain it. It just, my forehead was speckled, and it was very, very, very weird, and it like wouldn't blend out, it wouldn't do anything, and it was just, it was odd. It also didn't mix well with my concealer. I felt like every concealer I put on with it, you could kind of like see where my concealer stopped, and it just, it was very odd. I've never had a foundation react so weirdly as this one did. So talking about like the formula itself, it's very, very, very liquidy and runny. It reminded me a lot of the Wet n Wild Photo Focus. Yeah, Photo Focus foundation. How that one is like so runny and thin, and when you're blending it out, it kind of, it takes more work to blend it out, because I noticed, you ever have a foundation that it's just so thin that like you're sitting there stamping it, and every time you stamp your sponge into your face, it like leaves a ring in the foundation? That's what this one was doing. Like, it just takes a little more effort to blend it in, and I just feel like I'm not a fan of that, because like I don't mind sitting there blending in my foundation for a while, but at the same time it's like I have foundations that look amazing on my skin that don't take that much time, that I don't know, I just feel like I really don't love the formula and how thin it is. It dries down to a very like powdery matte finish, which just looks awful on my skin. Honestly, it was a no-go. And it, despite how thin and runny it is, it's very heavy on the skin. I honestly couldn't get through more than a couple hours wearing this foundation. Like, I have no idea how it wears throughout the day, because every time I put it on, I'd get 2, maybe 3 hours in, and I would just be out of my mind. Like, I couldn't stop thinking about it. Like, I couldn't go through my life without thinking about how heavy my skin felt, and how I needed to scratch it off. It was driving me crazy. So I ended up washing it off after about 2, 3, maybe 4 hours. Every single time I wore it, I just couldn't get through a day with it without it just feeling so gross and heavy. It was awful. So after that first day, I tried it with some other products, some of my even more moisturizing products. I tried all of my moisturizing products, honestly, all of my moisturizing setting sprays. I added an oil into it. I added like all of my moisturizing primers. Like, just nothing worked enough, if that makes sense. So the day that I used an oil with it, I didn't mind it quite as much. It definitely looked a little bit better on my skin, but it still wasn't just quite there where I could actually see myself reaching for it on an everyday basis, you know? Like, there are foundations that I'm fine with adding in an oil to it. My Too Faced Born This Way foundation, I love that one, but my favorite way to have it on my skin is to add an oil to it, and I'm totally fine with that. I reach for that on a daily basis because it looks so beautiful, despite the fact that I do have to add an oil into it. So I'm fine with doing that. It's not an issue. But even when I do that, it still doesn't look that good on my skin. So I don't think it was worth it for me. Plus, Colourpop doesn't have a return policy, which is what I was reading. I might be wrong about that. Correct me if I'm wrong about that. But someone was saying that they don't have a return policy, which kind of sucks, because matching yourself with foundation online is so hard. I will say, I forgot to mention this, Fair 15 is a fantastic shade match for me. It looks really, really white in the bottle, but when it comes out, it's like, it's the perfect shade for me. So I love that. It's top notch. But even when it oxidizes it, or dries down darker, I don't think it actually oxidizes, but even when it dries down darker, it's not enough. Like I said, it's only about half a shade or so it's really not noticeable if it is a different shade, you know? But matching yourself online is just so hard, so I find it a little ridiculous that they don't have a return policy, because it's like, yeah, it's only $12, but if it takes you 2 or 3 tries to get your right one, then you're basically paying a high-end price for this foundation, so you better hope that you can get it right, I guess. I think it's really great that they came out with 40 shades. I think it's great that they came out with a bunch of different shades in all their powders. It didn't work great for me. I could see someone with really oily skin loving this. Even normal skin probably would love this. If you have a lot of dry skin or a lot of like dry acne issues, no. I also wanted to mention, I'm sorry, I'm blanking, it's late at night. This claims that it's a full coverage foundation. Not really. Barely medium on me when I have a lot of issues, a lot of dots on my skin. Barely medium. Everything is peeking through. You can see all of my skin, all of my redness, everything. So this is not full coverage in any way, shape, or form. It's very, very matte and honestly very heavy. So that's my opinion. So I hope you guys liked today's little mini review on the Colourpop No Filter Foundation. I hope you found it helpful in some way, shape, or form. But other than that, I hope you guys will subscribe to my channel, maybe check out some of my other videos, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye!